इनको और एक माइक देना. So today's topic is decoding IPO process in India and strategic considerations before, during and especially after the IPO. Last few months since Shivankarji has shown on the bourses, everyone is looking at Gems Jewelry sector for the coming IPOs, and more of medium to large jewelry players are looking for public funding going the IPO way. So I think no better time than now to discuss the whole process. We have Mr. B.A. Ramesh. He is the Joint Managing Director of Thangamile Jewelry Limited, and I must tell you, they started about 14-15 years back on their IPO journey, and today their company is valued at, I think, 3,600 to 3,700 crores. That's a super journey of last 10-15 years. We have Shri Swankar Senji, who is the Executive Director at Senco Gold and Diamond Limited, and in the short span of 6 months, their company is now valued at around 6,300 crores. Correct, Swankarji?
Yes, the price keeps moving up and down, but yes, approximately 6,000.
That was as of today morning. So, and we have Saurabhji. They have, I think, close to 180 years legacy, and he's the Managing Director and CEO of PNG Jewelers Limited, and soon their 1,100 crores IPO is going to be launched. So they will catapult into the valuations. All the best, Saurabh. So today I'm lucky to have a panel which has a varied experience of all the stages of the IPO process. Rameshji is their 15-year veteran of managing a public company. Suvankarji is a recent success at the stock markets, and Saurabh, who is entering the stock market. So I'm happy and thank you, Nilesh Bhai, for a wonderful panel, Suyash, that I can learn a lot. I think all three of you have gone through a family jeweler to a professionally run jeweler, and then onto a publicly held company. That's a journey most of the public limited companies have taken in many fields. तो ये जो आपका पूरा जर्नी था, उसमें मुझे आपसे ये पूछना था तीनों से कि ये जो जर्नी सिर्फ इट्स नॉट अ फाइनेंशियल जर्नी कि आईपीओ किया और पैसा हमने रेज किया, कितना रिटर्न आया, क्या वैल्यूएशन आया, इज अ नंबर क्रंचिंग दैट मोस्ट ऑफ अस विल डू. मुझे आपसे उसका जो ह्यूमन स्टोरी है ना, वो मुझे थोड़ा पहला जानना है बिफोर वी गेट इनटू द नंबर्स. कि फैमिली ओन्ड कंपनीज में देयर आर नंबर ऑफ फैमिली मेंबर्स इन्वॉल्व. नॉट एवरीवन अंडरस्टैंड्स, नॉट एवरीवन वांट्स टू ओपन अप टू पब्लिक दैट यू आर आंसरेबल फॉर एनीवन एंड एवरीवन. तो ये जो आपका जर्नी था फ्रॉम इनिशियल थॉट ऑफ गोइंग पब्लिक टू एक्चुअली टेकिंग द फाइनल डिसीजन कि चलो यस वी आर गोइंग पब्लिक, ये जर्नी आपका कैसा था तीनों का? हर एक का अलग अलग स्टोरी है, हर एक का फैमिली अलग है. तो तीनों से मैं जानना चाहूँगा दैट हाउ द जर्नी वॉज, एंड इफ यू कैन एक्सप्लेन विदाउट गिविंग टू मच पर्सनल डिटेल्स, बट इफ यू कैन शेयर विद देम. थैंक यू.
Hare Krishna. Thanks for opportunity. Hare Krishna. Ashish Pete ne asked to me, what is the before, how you feel, how you confirm to the public. That is the major important question. मैं पहले थोड़ा बोलने के लिए ज़रूरत है हमारा फैमिली के बारे में. हमारा फैमिली तो जॉइंट फैमिली, हम 3 भाई है, 5 बेटा है। हम 1979 से ये धंधा करता हूँ। एक्चुअली यू नो वी आर वेरी डाउन साउथ मदुरई टेम्पल सिटी, वहाँ से हमारा फैमिली का बिजनेस है। पहले से हमने क्या किया, मैं पूरा बिजनेस को जानता हूँ। फिर डूज एंड डोंट्स में पहले भी माइंड में फिक्स किया, क्योंकि 2000 के पहले भी रिलायंस का वैल्यू 2000 करोड़ है, 2000 साल के पहले। सो मैं उसी समय हमारा ज्वेलर के पास पूछता हूँ, बड़ा बड़ा ज्वेलर है, ये है वो है, उनको क्या वैल्यू है? ये लोग कोई बोलता नहीं। सो आई केम टू नो वी आर डूइंग बेस्ट very good business, but we are not having value. So then how can we get value? We can enter into the stock market. That's then only we can get the value. So बहुत छोटा से मैंने 30 साल का उम्र से मैंने ये इसके बारे में सोच कर रखा है। हमारा फैमिली में इसके बारे में हर एक टाइम इसके बारे में बात कर आपको मालूम है, हमारा ज्वेलर पूरा नंबर 2 का धंधा करता है। यही ये प्रॉब्लम। सो प्लीज ये तो मैं जो बोल रहा हूँ ये पूरा सच है। मैंने डूज एंड डोंट्स है ना, ये फिक्स करने के समय क्या क्या करना, कैसे करना, कब करना, सो ये पूरा मैंने स्टडी किया, सब करने के लिए कोशिश करता हूँ। मैं बहुत पहले से बोलता हूँ नंबर 1 में करो, नंबर 1 में करो, बैंक का यूज़ करो, ऐसा। हमारा रिश्तेदार, हमारा भाई लोग, हमारा भाईचारा लोग, दोस्त लोग, कोई इसको एक्सेप्ट नहीं किया, सब लोग मना किया। हमको 2000 ये IPO जर्नी के बारे में हमारा फैमिली में फिक्स करने के बाद कम से कम हमको 5 साल IPO आने के लिए टाइम लगा। 2005 में हमने फाइनल किया, फिक्स किया। मैं जो बोल रहा हूँ, हमारा बड़ा भाई, छोटा भाई, हमारा फैमिली में जो बच्चों लोग हैं उनको भी अच्छा चाचा बोल रहा है, भाई बोल रहा है, ये ऐसा है वैसा है, उनको क्लियर पिक्चर मालूम नहीं। हमारा जो मैं बोल रहा हूँ, हमारा नाम के ऊपर इतना खर्चा के लिए ये तैयार है। यही है हमारा बड़ा भाई छोटा भाई का। बट इसके पहले हमने क्या किया, 1980 एंड 2000 का इसके बारे में हमने बिजनेस किया। 2001 में हमारा बेटा सेकंड जनरेशन आ गया, सो मैंने उनको तैयार किया। 2001 से 2005 तक उनको मेंटली, बिकॉज ही स्टडिंग ज्वेलरी टेक्नोलॉजी, वर्ल्ड गोल्ड काउंसिल का फर्स्ट they are starting in Chennai. So he is studying there and come back to our business. From 2001 से उनको स्टडी किया, उनको सब सिखाया। इसके बाद उनको मेंटली is prepared. Then only our family में सब डिस्कस करने के बाद फिक्स किया। और 2005 के बारे में मैंने फर्स्ट टाइम ट्राइंग टू गो टू द प्राइवेट प्लेसमेंट। मैंने हमारा ऑडिटर लोग सब लोग को मैंने कागज लेकर इधर उधर घुमाया। उसी समय ये फिनेंशियल मार्केट में हमको क्या हुआ मालूम है? ये सब सुनता है, फिर बाहर आने के समय ये बोलता है एक चोर आकर गया। यही है। आज आप लोग बहुत खुश है भाई, हम लोग अच्छा पोजीशन लेकर रखा है। उसी दिन हमको क्या बोला, एक चोर आकर है। क्योंकि हमारा इंडस्ट्री ऐसा था, हमारा पूरा नंबर कैश बिजनेस है। सो इसलिए अभी आप जैसा लोगों को अच्छा वैल्यूएशन मिलता है, उसी समय हमको वैल्यूएशन कुछ नहीं मिलता है। मैंने कोशिश किया कम से कम मल्टीपल्स क्या है ईपीएस को मैंने अंत में क्या किया 4.75 टाइम्स के दे दिया, वेरी वेरी लो, क्योंकि मार्केट ऐसा है, कोई हमको एक्सेप्ट नहीं किया। फिर मैं भी ज़्यादा पैसा को जाता नहीं, ओनली 35 करोड़ को, इसको भी हमने क्या किया, ये 35 करोड़ को भी पूरा पैसा हमारा बैचंता लोगों को मैंने रेडी किया। इसके बाद मैंने हमारा मर्चेंट बैंकर के साथ बोला 10 रुपया का शेयर को 75 रुपीज़ को दे दी। हमारा टाइम में उस समय 1.67 टाइम को मिल गया, सो सक्सेस हो गया, हमने शुरू किया। सो इसके पहले का काम है।
रमेश जी, तो मेन ड्राइविंग फोर्स वाज वैल्यूएशन और वेल्थ ऑफ द कंपनी, दैट वाज द ड्राइविंग फोर्स।
एक्चुअली हमारा टोटल व्यापार लोग ने प्रॉफिट के लिए व्यापार करता है। हर एक साल लास्ट ईयर कितना प्रॉफिट है, दिस ईयर कितना प्रॉफिट है, अभी सब लोग करोड़ में बात करता है, पहले हम लोग लाख में बात करता है। बट आई वांट वैल्यूएशन, वैल्यूएशन अलग है, प्रॉफिट अलग है। सो
रमेश जी, आपका यूनिक केस है बिकॉज यू हैव अ जॉइंट फैमिली, लॉट ऑफ मेनी पीपल। शुभंकर जी, आई वुड लाइक टू कम टू यू बिकॉज आपकी केस में इट वाज योर फादर्स ड्रीम to do go public, and
Right.
You also had a personal struggle with the 2020 your father's passing away. तो आपका स्टोरी तब बहुत लोगों ने पूछा होगा why don't you leave the dream now, या आपका घर का mother, your wife, तो how did your process go? I would like to hear
So
from you.
before that, I would like to say that Ramesh ji is our inspiration. क्योंकि 15 साल पहले, when he got as a member of the industry to get listed, it is truly a very very brave, बहुत ही एक मतलब बहुत इसके लिए courage चाहिए पब्लिक लिस्टिंग करने के लिए, बिकॉज आपको ट्रांसपेरेंसी, बहुत सारे क्वेश्चंस आते हैं, बहुत सारे मतलब अननेसेसरी एक अग्नि परीक्षा जैसा होता है पूरा। सौरभ के लिए भी ये रहेगा, बट आपको मतलब एकदम सॉलिड रह के आगे बढ़ना है। तो ये वो 15 साल पहले जब रमेश जी और उनके फैमिली मेंबर्स लिस्टेड किए, तो माय फादर वाज द वन हु हेल्प्ड अस टू स्टार्ट ड्रीमिंग। तो मेरा भी एक्चुअली बिजनेस में एंट्री 15 साल पहले ही हुआ था in a way, after finishing my MBA from IMT गाजियाबाद। एंड तब फोन से पापा के साथ बात हो रहा था, हम लोग का पहले प्रोप्राइटरशिप पार्टनरशिप फर्म्स थे, एक प्राइवेट लिमिटेड कंपनी खोला गया था 2002 में, फिर 2007-8 में सब कंपनीज को कंसोलिडेट करके एक प्राइवेट लिमिटेड कंपनी बनाया गया, ताकि उस प्राइवेट लिमिटेड कंपनी के बेस में हम लोग धीरे धीरे ग्रो कर पाए। एंड 2007-8 में तो वो लीमन ब्रदर क्राइसिस भी हो गया था, उस टाइम पे पूरा फाइनेंशियल क्राइसिस हुआ था। तो उस वक्त से ही हम लोग एक्सप्लोर कर रहे थे कि नहीं, क्योंकि शंकर जी का एक सपना था कि एक ऑर्गेनाइजेशन ऐसे बनाएंगे जहां पे वो एक सेल्फ सस्टेनिंग ऑटोमेटिक मोड में चले। दैट वाज हिज मोटिवेशन। एंड उनका एक फीलिंग था कि ये सेंको खाली जैसे हम लोग आम आदमी कस्टमर्स जो है मिडिल क्लास अपर मिडिल क्लास कस्टमर्स के लिए है, वैसे ही हम लोग का ओनरशिप पब्लिक शेयर होल्डिंग होना चाहिए। तो ये उनको बहुत ही एक इंस्पिरेशन देता था कि मेरा कस्टमर मेरा ओनर क्यों नहीं बन सकता, ऐसा एक थॉट था उनका। तो 2007-8 से बेसिकली ये जर्नी चालू हुआ, बट उस टाइम पे क्राइसिस आ गया, तो वी सेड नहीं लेट अस, वो IPO इज टू अर्ली फॉर नाउ, हम लोग धीरे धीरे थोड़ा आगे बढ़ते हैं। फिर 2012 से हम लोग प्राइवेट इक्विटी का एक ऑप्शन देखना चालू कर दिया, क्योंकि ग्रो तो करना है। ग्रो करने के लिए आप तो लोन उतना ही ले पाओगे जितना आपका कंपनी का नेटवर्थ सपोर्ट करेगा, राइट? तो 1:1 रेशियो, 1:1.5 रेशियो जो भी है। बट बियॉन्ड दैट अगर आपको थोड़ा फास्टर ग्रोथ करना है तो यू विल नीड सम काइंड ऑफ फंड्स, और फंड्स अगर लेना है तो सही सोर्स से, प्रॉपर पेपर वर्क से अगर लेना है, फंड्स तो हर तरह का अवेलेबल हो सकता है, मगर जो प्रॉपर सोर्स ऑफ फंड्स हो तो वो पी और आईपीओ और ये ऐसे टाइप के जो डेट्स होते हैं या इक्विटी होते हैं, दिस इज अ गुड सोर्स. सो हम लोग 2012 से पी का ऑप्शन देखे, फिर 2014 में वी हैड अ प्राइवेट इक्विटी इन्वेस्टमेंट एज अ स्टेपिंग स्टोन टुवर्ड्स अंडरस्टैंडिंग कि इन्वेस्टर्स कैसे सोचते हैं. बिफोर वी हेड फॉर द पब्लिक मार्केट डायरेक्टली, इन्वेस्टर माइंडसेट कैसे करके उनका क्या क्वेरीज आ सकता है, बेस्ट प्रैक्टिसेस क्या है, कैसे एमआईएस रिपोर्ट करना चाहिए, क्वार्टरली कितना हद तक क्वार्टरली रिजल्ट्स का क्या क्या डेटा लगेगा, क्योंकि टीम बिल्डिंग प्रोसेस इट्स नॉट दैट ओवरनाइट हो सकता है. इट टेक्स लिटिल बिट ऑफ टाइम फॉर यू टू गेट यूज्ड टू इट. और फिर 2007-8 में ऑडिटर्स अच्छे लाना, ईआरपी लाना, ये करते करते फिर 2014 से 2018 में हम लोग फर्स्ट अटेम्प्ट कर रहे थे आईपीओ के लिए. अनफॉर्चुनेटली 2018 में एक दो हम लोग का इंडस्ट्री में ये बैड सिचुएशंस आ गए एंड द इंडस्ट्री वाज गोइंग टू इट्स रफेस्ट पैच. तो तब तो इन्वेस्टर लोग आपके ऊपर से रमेश जी ने बोला, वैसे मतलब सब आपको पूरा डाउट का आंख से देख रहा था, कोई सपोर्ट करने के लिए राजी नहीं था, कोई अग्री नहीं हो रहा था. तो देन वी हैड टू विथड्रॉ फ्रॉम द प्लान. एंड फिर 2019 हुआ, 20 में सिचुएशन जब चैलेंजिंग आया, तो आप जो क्वेश्चन कर रहे थे, तो हम लोग का प्राइवेट इक्विटी इन्वेस्टर तभी भी था. और फैमिली मेंबर्स जो थे वो तो थे, बट उनका वो हम लोग मेरे लिए पूरा सपोर्ट की तरह खड़ा था कि नहीं, अभी यू हैव टू थिंक पॉजिटिव. बट मोर इम्पोर्टेंटली बैंकर इन्वेस्टर्स हुआ, they were questioning that, Shubhankar, are you ready, are you in a way they were doubting, they were questioning that whether this whole जो शंकर जी का विजन था वो कैरी फॉरवर्ड सही तरीके से कर पाएंगे कि नहीं. सो सब लोग डाउट कर रहे थे. तो 2020 तो was one such year, but as a team we were all being trying to be very positive कि नहीं, ये सिचुएशन में we have to carry forward the legacy. और जब देखा कि 2020 में भी इन कोविड सिचुएशन हम लोग कंपनी में ग्रोथ ला पाए, फिर 2021 में भी जब कोविड से फर्स्ट वेव खत्म हो गया, सेकेंड वेव का पॉइंट आया, देन देख रहे थे मार्केट में एक पिकअप आ रहा था एंड everyone was working towards growth. Then we realized that no, I think that there is some kind of transformation happening in the industry and there are future opportunities. नहीं तो आप IPO करेंगे, इन्वेस्टर्स के लिए जाएंगे, उनको तो रिटर्न देना पड़ेगा. सो 2021 के एंड से हम लोग फिर से आईपीओ का प्लानिंग प्रोसेस चालू किए, देन अपॉइंटिंग ऑफ बैंकर्स और सारा चीज. और 2022 अप्रैल में हम लोग डीआरएचपी फाइल किए, और उसके पहले और एक प्राइवेट इक्विटी का भी राउंड करना पड़ा, ताकि एक फंड्स भी कुछ मिल गया और ऑथेंटिसिटी भी और आ गया.
थैंक्स शुभंकर जी. सो आपका वैल्यूएशंस के लिए यू वेंट, आपके लिए शंकर जी का जो सपना था कि अ कॉमन मैन शुड बी अ पार्ट ऑफ योर कंपनी, so that was your motivation. So Saurabh, you are a very old company and a joint family business आपका, and you had a family separation couple of years back, a decade or so. So then how did you convince rest of the family that ये करना है और कब करना है, and what was your driving force?
Good afternoon everyone. So like Ashish said, our family business is almost 190 years old, more than 190 years old. हमने चालू किया सांगली में 1832 में, and that point there were two factions, two brothers who started this. Both the brothers were in Sangli, their children were there, and that continued for 125 years. One store in Sangli, run by the family, loved by customers, and Sangli at that point was actually called Sangli because it had 6 gullies. It was a small town, so Saha Gully became Sangli, and it was at that point the turmeric capital of India. And neighboring was Kolhapur, which was the sugarcane capital. There was wealth around there. Family was doing well. Then the family decided, my grandfather and his brother, that can we move and come to city of Pune, because Sangli and Pune had a lot of connections. The Kirloskars were from Sangli, which moved to Pune. There were a lot of businesses being set up around Pune. Pune had become a hub for auto industry. Bajaj, Tatas had set up base there, and that's when these two gentlemen moved to Pune. And Pune, as we all know now, is a big market, but at that point Pune was a very difficult market in terms of Pune people were very, very, as they say, very choosy, very selective. So once they love somebody to the T. But to establish that connection, that love was a very, very tedious process. And I would really be grateful to my grandfather that first 40 years of his journey to Pune, he spent on building the brand. So when we in Sangli, we were called Purushottam Narayan Gadigir, the founder's name. In Pune, when we became Puna Gadigir. And I was fortunate when I was about to join the business in the late 90s. We had a single store in Pune, but a huge customer base, strong brand, great goodwill, and this paved my entry. I did my MBA in the year 99-2000. In 99, I also did summer training with the RBI, and with Reserve Bank, I undertook the project of studying the gold markets in India, primarily future market, because at that point we didn't have MCX. And during that journey, I met a lot of bankers, a lot of top jewelers around the country, and going from RBI at that point, opened doors to everybody. That was enlightening, and that's why I decided I want to come in this business. Because till that time I was not sure. I was a national level chess player. I used to do a lot of activities, and I was good in studies, but the options were open, and that kind of paved my way. And when I came in the business, it was my grandfather, my father, and then my uncle. So they were all in the store. And it was again in Pune, run by the family. So like we used to say in old times, जो गद्दे पे बैठता है वो सेठ है, जो दुकान खोलता है वो सेठ है. So it was that kind of thing. You sell everything, you purchase stock, you count cash, deposit cash. All family run. There were no system processes. It was based on trust. And then in the year 2000, I convinced them that why don't we do a SWOT of the entire. I mean, it's not a company. You can say a store and see where we are. And they agreed to that. And the finding from that was that the strength they all knew, jo hai, but the threat which they found out that the city is growing, waiting time of 2 hours, 3 hours is not going to be acceptable, and people will move on. And as a brand, if you don't expand, if you don't reach to consumers, you may very soon lose consumers. And that paved the way of expansion. And then we started moving from a family owned to a professionally run. We hired some professionals, we put systems, we expanded branches, and this continued till 2012. At that point, we had around 7-8 branches, and my uncle decided to separate. So in 2012, he moved out. So then it was me, my grandfather, and my father who were in the business. And 2014, my grandfather passed away. Post that, in his memory, we did around 10 stores in that year. We expanded, and then post 16, 2-3 years were tough for the industry. There was demon, the markets were shaky. There was some crisis, so we kind of slowed down. And those 2-3 years, then there was COVID after that. So 15 to 2019 were years when we really didn't do too much. But we were thinking of building a team, because I always believe that to do anything further, one needs a team, one needs right people, and it's all about people. Our business today, we all sell jewelry. We all, we can procure the same kind of jewelry. What really keeps us apart is the way we attract our customer and the way we attend them. And that was the whole idea of how do we dig down deeper. So the 4 years I really spent on the team, on the operations, getting what is the P&G way of selling, what is the customer expectation, how to live up to that, technology. And then, post-COVID was the year when we decided that, we are set to grow again, and we started growing again. That point, there was no plan of really going public or, private equity, because options were open. I was talking to people. That point, Kalyan had gone public, and, after publication initially, there were a lot of hiccups and share had come down. But at the same time, people started talking about it. The industry there were some PPE guys who were looking at the industry. But then, we kind of decided as a company that let's focus on what we are doing and keep on doing for the next 3 years. So 2020, 21 and 22 was the year when we really focused on growth. We focused on, looking at peers, learning from them, benchmarking. Also, what benefit was some companies which are already gone public, a lot of data was available. So one is to study data. Other was to really look at, what are good things they're doing and try to adopt them. See as a company, what are your areas which you can still improve on. And the focus always was growth. So for me, when you ask the question, what was the objective behind this, it was always growth. our industry is capital intensive. We need capital. Our stores need money, and like they say, public capital is a double-edged sword. At one side, it comes cheap. Like Suanga was saying that there is no net worth here. It's about the company valuation. You're getting money. At the other side, it comes with a lot of responsibility. Every quarter, you have to deliver, keep your investors happy.
Yeah.
So for me, it was like a wedding. It's like, do you want to get married? And like they say, when you get married, you are reborn. A man is reborn again. So this is the company's rebirth. What I look at as an IPO.
So you are about to get married.
The day we were ready, we said, okay, let's do it. So to sum it up, I think the objective behind looking at the capital market was primarily growth. I don't have a valuation in mind. I don't have a particular figure in mind. But yes, their objective is growth, and growth has to be sustainable. I think if that can be done, I think any company
Wonderful.
will do well.
Wonderful. Thank you. So all the three IPO ready companies have a different story. We started with valuation, then larger goal of getting common people on board and growth. Absolutely. But once the decision was made, I wanted short answers from you now onwards, because we are short of time. That after you decided that yes, हमें IPO करना है, तो how did you get your company IPO ready? Because mentally आपने फैमिली ने डिसीजन ले लिया कि यस मुझे तो IPO करना है, फंड रेज करना है, बट द कंपनी हैज़ टू बी IPO रेडी. उसके लिए व्हाट वाज वन थिंग फ्रॉम ऑल थ्री ऑफ यू दैट यू चेंज्ड टू गेट योर कंपनी IPO रेडी?
सिस्टम एंड प्रोसेस. पहले हमने सिस्टम के बिना काम करता है. व्हेन वी हैव डिसाइडेड ऑन द टाइम, बिकॉज थ्रू A to Z SOP, स्टैंडर्ड ऑपरेटिंग प्रोसीजर्स एंड A to Z सिस्टम के द्वारा कंपनी चलने के लिए पूरा रेडी किया. ये पूरा हमारा एक्चुअली बाहर से देखने के समय हमारा कंपनी आप सब लोग देखता है सोना का धंधा करता है, सोना का कंपनी. एक्चुअली 50-50 यह सिस्टम. We are making 50 people, they are now even today working for system analysis. So we are creating system through SOP, we are building our full platform, and integration we are having 50 people. Even today they are working now. So the system is very, very, very important.
So you made your systems robust.
Yes.
To get IPO ready. Shivankar ji, one thing if you have to identify.
Like रमेश जी जैसे बताए कि सिस्टम इज वन वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग बैक एंड में, क्योंकि आपको टाइम टू टाइम MIS रिपोर्ट चाहिए, आपको क्वार्टरली अकाउंट्स बनाना है, आपको सेल्स ट्रैकिंग करना है, तो ये तो एक पार्ट हो गया. सेकंड हो गया आपको अच्छा ऑडिटर चाहिए, स्टैट्यूटरी ऑडिटर और इंटरनल ऑडिटर, राइट. स्टैट्यूटरी ऑडिटर अगर अच्छा कोई नाम हो तो उसके लिए और अच्छा आपको रिस्पेक्ट, मतलब इन टर्म्स ऑफ वैल्यूएशन बोलिए या इन टर्म्स ऑफ जनरली वो अच्छा नाम का ऑडिटर है तो फिर ऑडिट अच्छे तरीके से होना है, नंबर्स आर मोर जेन्युइन ऑथेंटिक, ये एक पार्ट है. और इंटरनल ऑडिटर चाहिए कि सिस्टम्स तो SOPs आप बनाएं, पर आपका टीम मेंबर्स वो SOPs और सिस्टम्स फॉलो कर रहा है कि नहीं, हाउ डू यू राइट. सो यू नीड टू हैव दैट. एंड उसके साथ आई थिंक IPO रेडीनेस इज अ माइंडसेट. तो जैसे हम लोग प्राइवेट इक्विटी का हेल्प लिया, जस्ट ये बोल रहे हैं कि आपको खुद को भी MIS एंड डेटा ड्रिवन एनालिसिस करना चालू करना पड़ेगा, बिकॉज यू विल बी आस्क्ड मेनी क्वेश्चंस. सो क्वार्टरली क्या चाहिए, क्या क्या अपडेट्स हो रहा है, ये वाला. और लास्टली मैं बोलूंगा कि टीम को बनाना है. फाइनेंस टीम स्ट्रांग होना चाहिए, कंप्लायंस टीम स्ट्रांग होना चाहिए. देयर आर कंप्लायंस सॉफ्टवेयर आल्सो दैट हैज ऑल योर स्टोर्स का जो भी डिटेल्स है, ऑल बीइंग डन, all the licenses are being done on time, everything. So ये 4-5 चीजें हैं.
Right. Thanks. Saurabh?
I think they've said it all, but I think for me the real thing was the mindset to be answerable to people. And
Absolutely.
when you think that you are the owner, you can do what you want to do. Once you're a public company, you are answerable to public at large. I think all these system processes, reports, all that is something wherein tomorrow you have to demonstrate what you're doing. You just say, I have done well. Somebody will ask you, well means what? Show the results. So for here, it is being black and white is what comes with IPO. And it's a mindset. When you ask a lot of people, they say, why should somebody ask me what I'm doing? Why should somebody ask me why you're not doing that? Here to be ready to be questioned and mentally not having an ego to be, feeling like, he may hold 10 shares, but he may hold 1 share or 10 shares or 10 million shares. He has a right as a shareholder, and respecting that, I think, is what is the biggest thing which I think
Internally
for me
changed.
has been the driving force.
I've seen this question in many discussions in many families, whether we should go for a public listing, and half the times the decision is no, because you are answerable, you are open to scrutiny by anyone and everyone. उसका mental makeup किसी का बहुत लोगों का नहीं रहता है. So that's where the decision shifts. But I'm happy all three of you have opened your books and your business for people to invest and to inspect.
Yeah, answer. That is very, very important.
तो अभी उसी स्टेज में हम लोग की IPO करने का डिसीजन हो गया है. तो आई वांट टू आस्क ऑल थ्री ऑफ यू, बिकॉज देयर आर 2-3 रूट्स ऑफ गोइंग टू द IPO where everyone would be interested to know. One is to go directly for an IPO like you did, or second is to either get a venture fund or private equity as a stepping stone and then go for it. Both have their advantages and probably disadvantages. From you, I know what route you have taken, and I know what route you have taken. So I'll start with Saurav first. What made you choose going direct rather than through private equity?
See, if you look at him, he's double graduate. Suvankar graduate, and I'm just entering college right now. See, I think the requirement which he said, like they always say, it's a hygiene when you have a private equity. A lot of things are assumed that you are following those SOPs, following those principles. So that's an easier way to convince the investor that yes, you are doing the things which are needed by the industry and by the investors. I felt personally the other way around. As a team, we felt that we should follow those things, put it in our place. Let's a third party audit it. But why do I want somebody sitting on my head right now? So
Just to intercept you, do you think now this question is open for 3? By taking private equity, will you get higher valuations, or they will share your pie?
See, Ashish, if you look at what Ramesh was saying, if it's valuation, when you're getting a private equity, he's going to enter at a much lesser, at a discounted price than what you're expecting, because he wants the upside. Right. So he'll be a partner for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. So he'll expect IRR of 20-25%. Now, the question is, can the company earn more than that to justify that? Is the capital being deployed properly? If you don't need that, like in the case we said, we don't need extra capital, we'll work with whatever we have right now, come to a level, and then directly go to a stage wherein we offer it to public. So I think it's a choice which is based on A, valuation expectations, B, growth plans, and do you think that the money which you're going to get for a short term can generate those kind of returns where you'll keep him happy and also keep the company happy?
I'll turn around the question for both of you. Do you think you made the right decision, and do you think you made the right decision?
Right. So I think that, at that point of time, when we took the private equity, which was, say, almost 10 years back from now, you had very few companies that were listed. Second was that, the size of our company was also much smaller in terms of top line and all of it, right? So as, what Saurav is doing, I think it is all a matter of time. He's doing the right thing because he's got a scale and the time is right. Jewelry industry is being appreciated. There is so much legacy trust. So why wait? That is what, is for what works for Saurav. For us, 10 years back, it wasn't so easy. So we took the longer step. We took a private equity, which I think, and we did it at a much lower valuation also, because उस time पे invest कौन करेगा? कोई करने वाला था ही नहीं.
रमेश जी,
हमारा I have no option. they क्या बोल दे आपको मालूम है ना, ये लोग देखते हैं चोरी के जैसे, फिर कैसे ये लोग पैसा डालता है. So I am going to public, surrender.
No, I understand.
That's why.
Sir, Ashish, we should thank Suvankar, we should thank company on listed right now.
Yeah.
Because what they've actually done is they have created a benchmark.
Yes.
Today, when you talk to anybody, there are there are at least 10 listed companies whose ratios are there,
yes.
whose financials are there.
Benchmarking हो
So
सकता
there's a valuation benchmarking done. So that Ramesh,
Right.
like I rightly mentioned, it was like a no man's land.
So I think if I were to add my 2 cents, it depends on 2 things: what stage is your company in, and whether you are IPO ready. Because many times private equity players act as a monitor in the school. They get you in order, सीधा बैठो, यूनिफॉर्म पहनो, ऐसा करो, 10 बजे आओ स्कूल में, 2 बजे खाना खाओ. वो रूल वो एक बार हमें सेट कर देते हैं. That makes you IPO ready, but they take their own pie of that. So it is
Also
individual's case.
Also, the environment is very important. See, today the market environment is such that people it's like that is not in our control.
Market is
Being
open.
Being
open
IPO ready is in our control. You work towards that. But the external factors and how the market today is,
Absolutely.
the way India has grown, the money coming into India. So all these things are not in our control. So I think it's also for any IPO, I think luck plays a very important role. It's not.
So I absolutely agree with you. Moving on to the next question, there are a lot of, I think, 15-20 people who are dreaming like you, 3 of us, you dreamt. So if someone wants to decide today that they want to do an IPO, how much time is required? 6 months, 12 months, 24 months?
I'll answer for myself first. I have just done it, so it's live. So for us, it took 8 months to be precise. The day we decided that yes, we are going to appoint a banker, to filing a DRHP, it was an 8-month long journey.
That was quick.
But we had decided a target. So I had, as a team, we had decided it's going to be a steep target. We have to work day and night. It's going to be a lot of stress on everybody. But we said we have to do it. And when we started, it was an 8-month period, because by March end we had to file, because the financials are going to be, because we are using September financials for that, for DRHP. So we are a tight timeline by March. So it was a 8-month process, wherein right from appointment of your lead managers to legal counsels, your auditors, and then it's a whole lot of documentation, your company registrar. So I think it's just documentation.
Right.
But it is possible. And my lead banker told me, sir, let's keep 9 months a target. So we finished 1 month before.
Great. So can I say, Suhankarji and Rameshji, 12 months can be a typical number you can look at?
Yes, yes, exactly.
Okay. अगर कोई आगे IPO करना चाहता है, तो आपके हिसाब से what is that one challenge that he has to be ready to fight? रमेश जी फर्स्ट.
इसमें कोई नहीं भाई, पहले कैसे
यू इंडिविजुअल हैव योर जर्नीज, तो आपको क्या चैलेंज है वो दे शुड बी रेडी, बिकॉज मेनी टाइम्स लोग तैयार करके जाते हैं, जो अनएक्सपेक्टेड चैलेंज आता है तो रुक जाते हैं, अटक जाते हैं.
ये सब बोलते हैं वी वांट मनी टू ग्रो, सो आई ऑलरेडी टेक 1:2. पैसा हमारा पास 10 करोड़ है, 20 करोड़ ले लिया. सो इसके बाद बैंकर ने तैयार नहीं मेंटली, सो दे आर ऐसा बात करता है. सो
डेट का लिमिट आ गया तो देन
दैट इज द मोस्ट इम्पोर्टेंट थिंग.
शुभंकर जी.
हाँ, तो आपका क्वेश्चन,
माय क्वेश्चन वाज व्हाट इज दैट दे शुड बी रेडी फॉर इन टर्म्स ऑफ चैलेंजेस.
See, I think what we faced is बहुत सारा questions. You should be ready with data. ठीक है, as much as possible, more the better. In terms of sales, store wise, category wise, जितना हो सके gross margins कैसा है, कहाँ से गोल्ड आ रहा है, कहाँ पे तैयार हो रहा है, कहाँ पे एकदम. See, the point is, पहले क्या हो रहा था, पहले ना ये इंडस्ट्री was not so transparent. So investor community, अपना ज्वेलरी कम्युनिटी में सब कुछ सबको मालूम था, बट इन्वेस्टर कम्युनिटी के पास वो नॉलेज नहीं था, क्योंकि वो लोग सब इंजीनियर्स है, चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट्स है, राइट. इंजीनियर्स और चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट टेक्नोलॉजी समझ आ जाएगा, केमिकल इंजीनियरिंग समझ आ जाएगा, मैकेनिकल समझ आ जाएगा, बट ज्वेलरी तो नहीं सबको समझ आएगा. यू गेट व्हाट आई एम सेइंग. सो वो डेटा का क्वेश्चंस हर तरह से आ सकता है. And don't feel bad to be judged. They will judge you for each and everything. आप कैसा आदमी है, कैसा रहता है, कैसे क्या खाता है, कैसे बात करता है, आपका पैसा आपको विश्वास करके देगा, तो वो पैसा आप मतलब यू नो व्हाट काइंड ऑफ अ ह्यूमन बीइंग यू आर, ऑल ऑफ दैट. आपका टीम कैसा है, आर यू ओनली द पर्सन, इज देयर मोर पीपल, आर यू प्रोफेशनली रन, आप समझ गए उन सारा. Be ready for all questions.
So be ready to be scrutinized with a magnifying glass. Absolutely.
Yes.
And also hedging.
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 Ashwin, I think
Oh,
really,
yes.
for me, most important thing is to have clarity on what you want to achieve. What is the objective and what is the plan which you have post raising money? Because I think anybody here, I mean, any business today, there is no limitation on size. But once you raise the money, what do you do with the money? Because money has a cost.
Absolutely. This is very important because sorry, I missed the point because we have talked about raising money, but this is the main important cog in the wheel. Unless and until this fits, no one will put in money. आप पैसा लेके क्या करने वाले हो उसका प्लान आपके पास पूरा रेडी होना चाहिए.
रमेश जी का hedging point, सौरभ, I don't know how much you are facing that question yet, but hedging will be a big question when you go in the market.
Yes. I wanted to ask two of you especially because he is yet to enter the door, that whether there is pressure from your investors or SEBI or bourses to be 100% hedged. Is there any pressure?
SEBI में नहीं है ऐसा, but investor if you are not hedging, they are not ready to put money because they want lose the money. They want grow, but they don't want to lose the money.
So they are not interested in the benefits coming from price rise. They just want to be protected against
they are not giving valuation for inventory profit, only operating profit. Operating profit को
point to be noted, Mala.
वैल्यूएशन देता है. इन्वेंट्री प्रॉफिट को ये लोग बोलता है हम भी ये लेकर हमारा लाकर में रखो तो भी वैल्यूएशन मिलता है ना, आपके पास क्यों पैसा डालना.
मैं सोना लेके रख दूंगा तो वैल्यूएशन मिलेगा. एब्सोल्युटली. एंड इन द प्रोसेस जब हम आगे जाते हैं तो उसमें जो पार्टनर्स लगते हैं आपको, से इन्वेस्टमेंट बैंकर्स कौन है, आपको लीगल टीम कौन सा है या ऑडिटर्स कौन से आने चाहिए, तो उसके लिए हाउ डिड यू सिलेक्ट देम एंड ये लेटेस्ट है. How do you select them and what is the trick of getting the right partners? Because with the wrong partners, things can go southwards.
See, every investment banker would pitch in. It's like you are going to a jewelry fair. Everyone wants to sell you jewelry. Now, who do you deal with? So somebody who is you know has a background, who's come to a reference. Same thing here. That somebody you see the first that credential. How many deals have they done in the last 3 years? In this sector, how many deals have they done? Second, you see who's heading that particular investment banking division. And I think most important thing is how much do they believe in you. See, everyone wants to, that's his role to take to the market. आपकी शादी करानी है, उसको ब्रोकरेज मिलने वाला है. But I think more than that, it is how much does he believe in you. Like it's what I mentioned.
ये नेक्स्ट जेन का सेमिनार इसलिए आप शादी का जिक्र कर रहे हो कंटिन्यूअसली. नीलेश भाई,
मुझे इसने बोला था बैंकर ने कि ये this is actually your rebirth. So when you do this, be ready कि you have to. They'll ask you everything right from your store का अगर rent agreement है तो rent agreement दिखाओ. They'll not believe anything. You say you're MBA, show the certificate. Be ready for every scrutiny, like Suvankar mentioned. But here I think it's most important to have somebody who believes in you, because the investor banker there will be a lead banker. So normally there are 2, 3, 4 bankers to the issue depending on the size. In our case, we have three bankers. Left lead, and then there are 2 other bankers, and their role primarily is to make you IPO ready, to work on your strategy, and then once you file help you in the DRHP, and then once you're done with the DRHP, to work with SEBI to get approvals, and then later on get you to investors. Along with that, most important is to get a good counsel in place. There are 2 counsel needed, one from the company side, one from banker's side. The counsel job is to do the entire due diligence. So whatever you have said till now, they will ask for every certificate. The auditor have to then, so they believe that either you have to have something which is published in public domain or something which the company has got audited. They will not believe anything else. So you say, I have joined in this year. Please show us. So like in our case, when
Even
you say
birth-
legacy,
Even birth.
certificate.
like when you say legacy, so we can't use the word that because this company is different. So I have to talk about the company which we started here. So I can say I draw legacy from that, but that is not what I am. I am this. So legally you have to be compliant on everything, and it's a very very long journey which you have to prepare to. At times you get irritated. What are they asking? So if you say I came to Pune in 1958, how do you know that? Do you have a document for that? Do you have a photograph? Do you have a... So they'll ask you everything, and they said, please don't feel bad, but we will question everything that you're saying, because going ahead, the investor should feel confident that whatever statement you have made are all audited, all vetted. So I think that is what the real role is, to get a good banker and good your legal counsels. They will work on the entire thing. Another thing is all your ecosystem. We need an existing banker. They need to cooperate within the process. Your audit work overtime for that. So it's a team which has to really function at maybe 2x or 3x to get this journey through.
Right. So now we are very close to the IPO process in our discussion, and one thing that can make or break the thing is pricing of the IPO. And I think you hit a sixer, Shivankar. With the pricing, if you can share your thoughts about what is the right kind of pricing that one should go with, then we'll move to...
Ashish ji, can I take this as the last question? Because
yes, please.
After that I have to...
Yes, yeah.
So, my only humble advice to everyone is that keep a pricing so that your investors can get a return. So, there might be peer companies who might be priced at a higher level, and you might know in your heart that that is the correct pricing, or maybe I am to be priced higher than that. The potential is much more, right? Because they price yours based on future earnings. So next year क्या earning क्या होगा profit, उसके बाद वाला year क्या होगा, so उसका P multiple एक number के साथ वो multiply करके valuation आएगा. So you might be priced at X, but I will only humbly advise to everyone that keep it such that there is 20-25% discount to that price, so that जो invest करने वाला है उसको दिख रहा है कि मेरे को ये पैसा मिलने वाला है, because in the good of all is your benefit. ये आपको समझना पड़ेगा. जब सबका मंगल और सबका साथ सबका विश्वास, ये पॉलिसी से ही आगे.
So leave something on the table for the retail investors.
Yes.
Something for the
So, since you are in a hurry to leave, there was one last question I had for all three of you, then I'll come back to you, Rameshji. So my question to three of you is that you give me two reasons why all of us should go public, and also give me one reason why we should not be going.
Okay, so I think in the whole discussion, if you ask me, if you want to grow, if you have a solid business model, if you have a trust, legacy, customer base, and you want to grow, then you should go public, because you have something, you're standing on something. It is like not really a startup, you are already in it. So that is one reason you should go public. Second is that your family, yourself, you have built an organization. You want to create like I said, that one reason was that for my father and me, that public market we want public shareholders, but we also wanted to create an organization that should run in an auto mode. It should not be dependent on you. It should be just happening on the system. So, uske liye IPO is a process in which you can then just be like an investor in the company, and the company should run on its own. So these are the two reasons why you should be going public. And a reason why you should not be going public is that unless you are in a mode of retirement, unless you have a problem of succession planning and you want, some other person to invest into your company and take it over, then you can go and do, and it could be like your बेच के आप पैसा ले रहे हो. But my thing is, पैसा के लिए खाली मत करो.
So IPO should not be your exit plan, right? IPO should not be your exit plan. In that case, don't go.
हाँ, मतलब yes, exactly.
Right. Thank you, and thank you for taking out time. I know you are traveling, but really appreciate you joining us. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Sir.
The question is,
two reasons why we should
go,
and one reason why we should be careful not go.
मैं बोल रहा हूँ हमारा, हम आने के समय ये सब लोग अभी 1000 करोड़ ऐसा वैसा बात कर रहे हैं, ये तो छोड़ दो, ये बहुत बड़ा आदमी, हम छोटा से बात कर रहे हैं, छोटा से बात है। क्योंकि ये से पुणे से आ रहे हैं, बॉम्बे से आ रहे हैं, ये लोग कलकत्ता से। हम इसमें कितने लोग मदुरई देखता है? हाँ, बहुत बहुत कम है, क्योंकि मदुरई बहुत छोटा गाँव है। हाँ जी, ठीक है ठीक है, ये भी अच्छा चलता नहीं, छोड़ दो। हमारा आने के समय हमारा कंपनी का मार्केट कैप 100 करोड़ था, उसमें हमारा फैमिली का 65%। सो उसी दिन हमारा फैमिली वेल्थ 65 करोड़, आज 3700 करोड़। सो आज हमारा फैमिली का वर्थ कितना है देखो। सो वेल्थ क्रिएट बिजनेस प्रॉफिट इज अलग है। इफ यू वांट टू wealth creation, this is the one of the best way. That is my point. And not go. Why not go? That is the plus point, that is the minus point. You see, there is a very good company, I don't want to tell the name, but they are in Bombay. Initially, when they are coming, their market cap is 800 crore. They go up to 2000. Then they will come 100 crore. Now they are listed round about 700 crores. So wealth creation भी हो सकता है, wealth destruction भी हो सकता है. So all are depending upon your hard work and smart work, how you are giving the results. If you are not giving the results, and then there is no success.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ashish, for me, I agree with Swankar. One is growth. Why you want to go public way is growth. Another, if you feel that you are ready for compliance, but not now, but for the entire life. And one should not go public just because one feels the in thing right now is the trend. Without a proper plan and without proper compliance, this will lead to destruction. And like Mr. Ramesh said right now, it can lead to wealth destruction, not creation. So it's a double-edged sword. One has to be ready. So clarity of mind and clarity of thoughts with action is very important before you decide to take the plunge of going public. Because once you go, it's non-reversible. You can't come back.
Absolutely. Thank you to all three of you for a wonderful and open-hearted discussion, because many times people close their windows and don't let people in, but you let us in into your hearts and your lives.
So I think this is your skill set. This is your skill set.
Yeah.
You ensure that people start talking.
This is the इतना साल में हमारा पास हमारा प्रेसिडेंट सवाल पूछा है. This is the first time. हमारा पास कितना वाल्यू ये सब मैडे गिंजी लेना पा. अच्छा 75 रुपीस में. अच्छा हमको बहुत खुश है भाई. वी आर वर्किंग फॉर यू. वी ऑलरेडी already give the 75 more than 75 rupees as a dividend, and now it is 40 times more. Thanks.
So this is the mindset you should have, that you are working for your shareholders.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That probably sums it up.
For vendors from promoters quota, you should give from your promoters quota.
Please,
For vendors.
please direct your questions here. And we'll just take two questions. We'll open it for Q&A. So, please take the mic. Huh.
You know what? What really one of the takeaways is a well-defined roadmap, absolutely structured, vision for the future. My question is to Saurabh. Could be specifics, and maybe you can't really, come with specifics, but when it comes to the roadmap, so it's actually expansion in terms of number of stores, probably the various different collections that will go. You'll go offline, online. All these things are in place already. In a way,
When you draft
Yes.
you can see the Red Hill prospectus. It is online. It has to have details.
Yes.
So you can't just do a vague plan. When you say growth, you have to quantify growth.
Yeah, that's one quantification.
So that it's all mentioned there. So it just can't be anything which is saying what will be the use of the money has to be very, very clearly mentioned there.
And probably even geographically where you'll expand.
Everything has to be mentioned there, and it has to be compliant to that. You can't use the money for any other purpose than defined in the object clause.
Where there is no if condition. Already transparency होना चाहिए.
Hello, sir. I would like to thank both of you and also Savankarji for sharing all these valuable insights. My question is, how do you decide we all come from family businesses, so do you. So you had 100% of ownership when you started, like your entire family. But when you when you have to do an IPO, you have to decide what percentage you're willing to give to the public. So how do you come to that number? Because at the end of the day, we want ownership and we want to make all the decisions. So even 51% brings that, but that doesn't mean we give 49% to the public. So how do you come to that right percentage कि इतना is okay to give to the public? Because आगे भी थोड़ा बहुत तो देना पड़ेगा if you plan to expand more, if more people from the venture capitalist world come in. So that's what I want to know. How do you decide what percentage to give to the public?
Yeah, ये तो depend upon the scenario. We should get minimum money and how the plans, rendering prospects में जो लिखा है इसको कम से कम minimum कितना चाहिए. So we are diluting 35%. Some people may dilute minimum 10%. Then next 2 years के अंदर 25% dilute करना जरूरी है. So कम से कम 25% dilute करना जरूरी है. तो इसमें ऑप्शनेबल है. आपके पास अच्छा वैल्यूएशन मिलता है, आप 10% भी dilute करो, 15% भी dilute करो, फिर और 2 साल के अंदर और remaining dilute करो. But depend upon the how much you need and what the valuation you are getting. That is the decision.
SEBI rule is that if you are raising more than 1,000 crores, you can have a 3-year period to offload 25%. So you can do even say 10% right now. Like case of DMart. When DMart went public, they only went with 10%. And then later on, they were confident valuation will grow up and they will be able to encash the balance at a much higher valuation. But in 3 years, you have to dilute 25%. If you have more than 1,000 crores.
Thank you so much.
Thanks. Last question, yeah.
First of all, thank you so much for the very, very important session. My question was, what criteria selection of independent director plays? Do we have to get big names, or what is the basic criteria to have independent directors?
इसमें बड़ा आदमी भी रख सकता है, इसको खर्चा ज़्यादा होना चाहिए. आप पहले आपका पहचानता लोग और आपका फैमिली के अच्छा you should grow with, because independent director may ask different type of questions and it may be problem होने का chances big. So right person, very reasonable person. I mean, just like your mentor. If you feel other traders में आपको mentor जैसा कोई न कोई लोग है ना, उनको रखो. That is best.
So I'll explain his question. Having big names in your independent directors list, does it add valuation?
Of course, ये सब IPO आने के बाद, थोड़ा साल रन करने के बाद, इसके बाद रखे तो भी अच्छा है. Initially
जरूरत नहीं.
जरूरत.
You need 4 independent directors. If you have like 4 directors, you need 4 independent directors. If you have 3 directors in a company, then you need again, but you need minimum 7. So you need to have 4 from internal, like you mentioned, family or current thing, and 4 independent. Big names don't necessarily add value, but they may add more confidence when you talk to an investor. But it doesn't, there's no thumb rule that if you have big names, it's going to give high valuation to you. But like it's a good practice if you have industry experts in different domains who are there and who can help you in a particular subject expert they are. It's a good practice to have that, but it doesn't add to any valuation. There's no direct correlation with that.
Okay, thank you so much. I just have one more question. Just a second.
Meanwhile, let me ask some question. Here. Yeah.
Yes, running late.
Just one question.
Last
yeah,
question.
yeah, fine.
Quick one.
Thank you for the valuable insights which you gave. So as we are like expanding the business with through IPO, so we'll be expanding the operations, we'll be expanding the number of stores across like lot of geographical locations. So how hard it will be to handle the operations, like because like we'll be having multiple stores in multiple locations, because like we are responsible now, like as we got listed in IPO, like a lot of investors will be, lot of like people will be investing, so we are responsible for the standard which we give, because like they trust the brand. If Thangamile is a brand, like they trust and they'll invest because Thangamile is a trustable brand. So that's how like they'll trust us and invest. So how we'll maintain the standard, how we'll maintain the operations.
Is your question, how do you manage such a large operations?
Yes.
That's what he said, SOPs.
My son is here. He will tell the exact.
Before that, you have to join youth wing then.
No problem. My son is here.
He'll take it offline. So, there is a very interesting seminar on data science, right? It is data storytelling.
Yeah.
So
the reason I
think
asked this question is, so we are helping business and brands. So actually, like we are a AI-based video operation management company. So not promotions, yeah. So we are a AI-based operation management company. Like we are helping business and brands, like while they are operating in multiple places. So we'll help them in this store operations and such things. Yeah, that's why.
Nilesh bhai, thank you once again, Ramesh.
Thank you.
And Saurabh, thank you. Always a pleasure.